everybody, and welcome to Blue Jays Today, where your boys always have something to say about the Toronto Blue Jays. I'm your host, Nicholas Playlock.
And I'm your host, Adam Peddle, and today, guys, we've got some Blue Jays injury updates for y'all. There's a ton of guys that are going to be on their way back to the Jays, and it could be very well happening this week. Some of them are confirmed, some of them are closing in, and we'll get into the details in just a little bit. Before we do, guys, make sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button for the Blue Jays Today show, because we are in playoffs, essentially, folks. It is a wild card race for the Blue Jays and the boys, so let's get into it, folks. I'm excited to talk some ball tonight.
Yeah, exactly. Like, we're gonna get into the injuries, and we also do need to talk about that playoff ball in general.
Literally,
you got the Seattle Mariners chomping at the bit. Everybody, we got to discuss what these Toronto Blue Jays need to do to keep them off of our tail. I felt just a ridiculous amount of stress this past week. That's how you know that it is playoff season.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it was a little bit too much for me. You know what I mean? Like, there was when we were half a game. When we were half a game and
on that Saturday,
after losing, and Seattle was hot as hell, like, the only thing that gave me any just peace of mind at all was the fact that they were going up against Baltimore. Yes. And thank God Baltimore took care of business. Thank you, Baltimore, for doing what you need to do, because the Toronto Blue Jays clearly this past weekend did not.
Yeah, we got to take care of our own business, folks, and it's going to be tough. And we'll definitely dive into more of that Seattle Mariners like schedule and stuff, because it is scary. Not too many more Baltimores coming up for them, so we gotta handle some business, folks. So
let's talk injuries first, everybody, and then we'll get straight into that, guys. First things first, Bo, what is going on with him? When is he going to be smacking bombs for us? Is it sooner rather than later?
Yeah, it looks like he's covering a lot quicker than anybody anticipated, which is kind of, a note for me. Did people think that he was going to be out a lot longer? Were they downplaying his injury? Don't really want to get too deep into that thought. But the good news is he is recovering a lot quicker. And if you click on this article and you give it a little read, folks, shout out to Sportsnet who have this article, and Shai DVD who wrote it. You got him mentioning that there could potentially be a stint with the Buffalo Bisons this week. They are going to be playing in Buffalo this week, so that makes sense. You saw Bo Bichette with Toronto in the Rogers Center this past weekend. Just a quick, short trip over the border, play a couple games there, right? And then he can have them come over, maybe fly out, maybe go to Cincinnati for the weekend series. Yeah, that would make a lot of sense. So I anticipate that is around where you should see Bo Bichette get back in the lineup, because the Blue Jays, the offense has been good, it's been hot, it's been inconsistent, but we know one thing that is consistent, and it's Bo Bichette. We need him back quick.
Yeah, 100%, dude. I mean, like, this guy is massive for this team, and that Sunday lineup, I know that they put up an incredible amount. What was it, like 11 runs? Or
11 runs.
11 runs. I know that they put up 11 runs, but still, folks, when I have to look at a bottom three of Varsho, Espinal, DeYoung, listen, no hate on those boys at all. I wish for them the best, and they did put up yesterday.
Varsho got 5 RBIs.
But how often can we anticipate that to happen from those lads down there? If you want to keep doing it, then keep doing it, but having Bo in there just lengthens that thing out so much. So I'm very happy that this kid is... How old is he? 24?
25.
I know.
Now.
But still, 25-year-old bodies, they recover pretty damn fast, and that looks like what's happening right here, everybody. So he should be back with the team shortly. Also, side note, folks, we are right after filming this. This is 5:30 p.m. on Monday night. Directly after this, we're going to be on the horn talking to the legend Addison Barger. We're going to be asking him about Bo Bichette. We're going to see what the relationship is like there. So maybe he has a little bit of insight onto this dude, and maybe you can put in a good word for us.
Yeah, absolutely, guys. And another guy who was actually Addison Barger's teammate recently was Jordan Romano. Jordan Romano had a little bit of a stint himself with the Buffalo Bisons, and he did some pitching. He looked pretty good. He was on a rehab assignment. And good news, everybody, he will be back with the team on Tuesday. So that's very, very crucial. You had the back end of that bullpen. You had Haig and Danner in there. I mean, Haig and Danner was off to a great start, and big shout out to Haig and Danner. Sorry that he got injured and he got cut short. But obviously, you don't really ideally want Haig and Danner, not this season at least. And then you had Bowden Francis. And again, another big, shout out to Bowden Francis. Ever since coming to the big leagues, he's been phenomenal, folks. He's been phenomenal. But again, this is the luxury of having all these great bullpen guys to trade for at the deadline. You could put him down in the minors just in case there's some injuries. But good news is you're going to get back Jordan Romano, and you might actually get back Trevor Richards, who threw a bullpen today, aka 3 days ago. He's on track to return from the IL when he's eligible, so expect him to potentially come back, maybe for Cincinnati series, but you definitely expect Jordan back tomorrow, folks.
Yeah, and I'm actually, like, right as you're talking about Jordan Romano, man, I'm just looking up Jordan Hicks right now because he's obviously been one of the fill-ins. So far for Toronto, 4.76 ERA, not really what you want to see, right, from the guy who's supposed to be filling in for the closing position. Now, I will admit, I mean, obviously, very small sample size. That's going to be inflated by, like, 1 bad outing, 2 bad outings.
Do you mind asking, what's his whip as well? What's his whip here?
For Toronto so far, 1.412.
So around kind of what he's been doing-ish. And it's, again, short sample size.
But that is definitely, in my opinion anyways, too many base runners for a closing position, and you're going to give me a heart attack if you keep doing that. So Jordan Romano, very glad to have you back. Jordan Hicks, you can now slide down a little bit, get in there. You can still do the fireman role.
Oh, for sure.
You can still come in when we're in a little bit of a jam or anything like that. Just maybe not in the 9th, so I don't get a fucking heart attack.
Yeah, maybe we got a big cushion of a lead. You know what I mean? I want to see Jordan Hicks in that spot. Maybe in a game where you got Hyun-Jin Ryu pitching, where he's throwing those 86, 88 dots on the outside corner and up and in. Yeah. And then you get Jordan Hicks right after him going 1-on-1. Like, I think the pure, like, threat of the heat alone, like, if you could just throw it anywhere near the zone, you will get a swing. And you will get some strikeouts, and that's why we brought him in. So I think that combo could work really well in those, like, 6th, 5th innings.
Yo, honestly, sidebar right now, just as we're talking about it, folks, we robbed the St. Louis Cardinals, right? Like, we absolutely, like, we went in there, we took what we wanted at the trade deadline. So far, do you think Genesis Cabrera has been the best acquisition that we've got?
Absolutely.
You know?
I mean, if you looked at the stats, right? I mean, I could even look it up right now.
Yeah, like, now I'm just thinking about it, right?
Phenomenal.
It's like, we're not talking about Genesis Cabrera nearly enough, right? You're talking about Paul DeJong. We're talking about how he's not doing very good, which he isn't, right? I mean, just offensively speaking, he hasn't been. We're talking about Jordan Hicks. This guy's got almost a 1.5 whip. But then you got Genesis Cabrera over here for Toronto with a 0 ERA. Who would have thunk it?
No.
Who would have? 11.1 innings. Who would have thunk it?
And it's actually a larger sample size. We've been using this guy quite a lot, right?
For real.
You've been seeing the Toronto Blue Jays use people like Tim Meza. I don't mean people like Tim Meza, just Tim Meza. He was the only lefty we had. So anytime you were making a pitching change and you had lefties come up, guess whose name is being called?
Yeah.
Tim Meza. That's why he's got so many innings for the Toronto Blue Jays right now. And that's why Genesis Cabrera has got 11 games right now, because he's that middle reliever. And look at the whip as well, 0.529. That's a guy that is probably the best.
That's
acquisition.
Insanity, man. 11.1 innings of scoreless ball.
Amazing.
For Genesis
Very
Cabrera.
underrated.
That is, like, literally, like,
shout out.
A+ right there to the Toronto Blue Jays, like, just scouting system and everything like that.
Right?
Go and locate this dude, who literally, like, I never even really heard of.
Dude, me either. And that's why when they traded for him, I remember making that minute monologue and being like, well, who's this guy?
Yeah.
But I did want to not just be like, he's bad and, like, give up on him. I threw in the one note of, like, maybe they see something in him. Maybe Pete Walker, when we were over there in St. Louis in March, late March, early April, he's like, this guy's got something, and he wasn't accessing it. And now they're like, let's get him. He's cheap. Yeah. Right? I mean, they literally DFA'd him. Yeah. So, like, they just got him, picked him up. You know what I mean?
Literally,
there must be something
free,
there.
Everybody.
Shout out
Cabrera, shout out to you for being an absolute legend so far for the Toronto Blue Jays. That is a freaking acquisition that we really needed, dude. Looking at the team as a whole right now, yes, we are getting back a few pieces, but it still feels like even when Bo Bichette comes back, we still need that offensive piece, you know? DeJong, I don't really know if he was supposed to be it or not, right? People were kind of hoping. We were hoping, but, like, clearly that's not working out right now. Still good defensively, but when you look at this squad and we look at this team, offensively speaking, not good enough, right? This past week especially, not good enough.
No, it hasn't been. I mean, that 11-run game we were just talking about, that's really exciting and fun, but let's not lose ourselves in the moment, right? Like, we still have struggles with runners in scoring position. We showed flashes of potentially getting out of it, right? But maybe there's been some word by a Mr. Bo Bichette after taking a step back, being injured, maybe communicating a bit more with his teammates, maybe seeing what he's seeing on the field, not because he's trying to get locked in his own game, but now that he's taking a step back and he's looking at other people's games, maybe there's a little bit of a conversation happening, because Bo Bichette, when interviewed on Sportsnet in that 11-run game the other day,
he actually said, he commented on the Blue Jays offensive struggles, saying we've been a bit indecisive in the box at times. Teams that struggle offensively, they're not committed to a certain pitch. And you know what? I felt that way with the Blue Jays. It feels like they're in between. Paul DeJong especially, not to just point him out, he's been here for a short time, but Paul DeJong especially, he doesn't really look like he's looking for any sort of pitch to hit. But if you look at Bo Bichette's numbers, when he's got pitches to hit, aka the fastball, he's smacking it. 4-seamer, 8+ run value. Sinker, 2+ run value, right? You got guys like Bo Bichette doing it. And the slider, -5, right? But that's because Bo Bichette's approach is, I'm sitting fastball, and how many times have you seen Bo Bichette swinging a slider away before 2 strikes? Endless amounts, right? Because that's his approach. He's committed to it, and guess what? Over a large sample size, you'll see the Bo Bichette numbers start to put up when he's hitting with less than 2 strikes and he gets a fastball there and he rocks it, right? So more players like the Toronto Blue Jays need to do what Bo Bichette's doing, and maybe, just maybe, we're starting to come around to that realization.
Well, I mean, I think it's a little bit ridiculous, right, that you have your star player coming out and saying, we don't have an approach. I have an approach. We don't have an approach. Why is it that on August 14th, you have your star player who is injured right now saying, yeah, we don't have an approach right now?
That's crazy.
Shouldn't this be something that was addressed by our hitting coach?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, shouldn't we be a team that is capable of hitting the fastball? Or, okay, fine, you don't want to hit the fastball. Well, hit something else then.
Yeah.
But it seems that they're not doing that, and that's what Bo Bichette's coming out and saying. It's right. We're not hitting something right now. We are not sitting on a current pitch. I'm doing it, but the rest of the squad, they ain't doing it right now. Why is that the case?
I have no idea. Is it a communication error with Guillermo Martinez? We can't speculate. I'm not with the team. I'm not there in the dugout. I don't know, but clearly Bo Bichette sees it, right? And he's making that comment. I mean, if you look at some star players on our team this year that are struggling, you can kind of point to the fact that they're not hitting the fastball. I mean, I'm saying the fastball because that's the pitch you got to hit. That's the pitch that everybody, the pitchers work off of, the hitters work off of. As soon as I can prove that I can hit the fastball, then they're going to throw me off-speed pitches. One guy in particular, George Springer, right? He made a living off of hitting the fastball. Now guess what? He's getting a bunch of sliders and he's missing them. He's got one of the worst run values on the team against the slider. This is a great example. Dalton Varsho is just not hitting anything.
Ouch.
Right? Like, he's hitting the curveball. Sure, maybe he's getting enough time to react to it. But I think this guy's sitting in between. He's getting beat by the fastball, getting fooled by the slider. So this current sample size, yes, doesn't look good, but it doesn't mean we can't change. And I think that Bo Bichette maybe being injured might be a secret blessing in disguise if there's just that conversation happening.
Well, I think, I'll be completely honest, guys, I think it's a little embarrassing. I think it's a little embarrassing that you have your guy coming out here right now. It almost, maybe I'm reading too much into this, but it almost feels like a little bit of a cry for help right now, being like, I'm going to the media and I'm telling the media that we don't have an approach right now. Right?
Literally.
I mean, imagine if you went on your social media and you said, there is no direction in my job. It's like there is no direction with my job.
Everybody's kind of doing a different thing right now. Everyone's lost.
Literally,
like that's everyone
would be like, "What, Adam? What's going on, man? What's happening? Like, is something up with your boss? Probably right now.
We're showing up late to meetings. We're not handing things in time. Like, literally, it sounds like again, we're not trying to make Bo look like a bad person. I think Bo's actually speaking the truth.
He is.
Someone needed to say the truth because for this entire season, nobody said anything. We don't know who to blame. Guillermo Martinez, this guy, It's literally the approach, the plan is not consistent.
But I do think, though, that comes from Martinez, right? That's a conversation. These hitters have to be having that conversation with Guillermo Martinez. And I think that this just proves what everybody has been saying this whole time, that the hitting coach isn't doing his job. When you have your star guy come out and saying, we don't have an approach right now as a team, that should be job numero uno for Guillermo Martinez. Find the approach for your hitters.
I mean, I'm sitting here, I'm drinking a coffee. I'm not a baseball player, but the one thing I do know is you gotta look for a pitch. You got to hit it. You can't be in between. The pitchers' fastballs are way too good to be in between. If you're in between, you'll never hit the fastball. And yes, you might actually have a better chance to hit the breaking pitches when you're in between. That's kind of like a two-stick approach. You want to be late on the fastball, early on the curveball, but like you're never gonna be the slugger and the on-base guy and the high contact hitter if you never get on that fastball early in the count. That's the problem, guys. I think that's got to be the change. Put me as a hitter coach.
100%. 100%. No.
Let's go. I'm going in, everybody.
Listen,
I'm going in.
I'm definitely not saying that like your approach is the right approach, but at least you are going to show up with something, because right now we don't have anything, and that has been the big problem. Now, one thing of note that I do want to talk about here is one guy on this team that we have been, like I've been in and out on this guy so many more times than I can freaking count, right? Like the roller coaster of this dude's career has been mostly out, but it has been wild nonetheless. Flip it over. I tweeted this out earlier today, guys, right in the morning when I woke up. I was shocked when I saw this, guys. Cavan Biggio has been exceptional for the Toronto Blue Jays in the past month of baseball, guys. He's hitting .316, and maybe the craziest stat here out of all, 447 on base. This dude is getting on base more than he is slugging. That is a massive asset for these Toronto Blue Jays down this stretch, and I expect to see Cavan Biggio slotting in the 5 spot very regularly moving forward.
I mean, you saw him last year in that 5 spot a lot, being that lefty, right? You got Brandon Belt up there, you got him, you kind of mix it in, but I mean, if you're playing like this, we were kind of like joking, like, why is Cavan Biggio in the 5 spot? This is exactly the reason why, folks. And he's going to get more ABs. And I'm down. I'm down to get more ABs, especially because in that 2 spot, right, or in that second base position, you got Espinal's not doing well. Yes, Davis Schneider is exciting and cool, and I think he should get some more opportunities. Maybe with a lefty in the lineup, he gets an opportunity for sure, right? But I think this guy's doing it, and he's been doing it for a longer stretch, larger sample size, and Whit Merrifield's been playing some incredible left field recently. Like really great defensively left field. It feels like he's finding a home, and like we'll get into the numbers a little bit later, but he's having an incredible week too.
Yes.
So he has no problem playing a lot of left field. So Cavan Biggio, I'm sorry, bro. Look, the conversation always was, if you can do it, you can get in there, man. And he's doing it, so you get the pass, bro. Play for us.
I mean, look, I literally tweeted this out. If you guys aren't following us on Twitter, then follow us on Twitter, by the way, everybody. Today, Jays, we're tweeting more consistently, but you are doing it. You deserve the respect, so everybody, W's in the chat for Mr. Cavan Biggio. Yes. I want you in there more moving forward. I love to see it, dude. While the rest of the guys are slumping, Cavan Biggio says, I'm showing up with my own approach, and it is absolutely working. Next, let's get into these wild card standings. Like we started off this show by saying, dude, my heart went directly into my throat. It felt like it was moving all around my body this week. Like I just felt uneasy. You know what I mean? It was not a good feeling. There was a lot of these live streams that we had, close nail biters of a game. That Cleveland series aged me, dude. And then Chicago Cubs. What the hell was that? Cody Bellinger owns the Toronto Blue Jays apparently. Like that was absolutely wild. Either way, here we are. It's Monday, and we are currently 1.5 games above Seattle, but they are 8-2 in their last stretch. They look hot as holy hell right now. We got our work cut out for us, man.
Dude, we do, and we can only control what we can control. Look, we have no more games against the Seattle Mariners, so it's their journey, and it's our journey, right? And you look at Boston, I'm not really too worried about Boston, right? I think we have one more series with them. I think we can pretty much do some damage. We did pretty much a lot of damage last time out. Yankees, I'm actually considering them out. I think they're gone. I think there's a culture issue. They think they're out, so I'm not worried about them. It's literally just those Mariners. If you take a look at the next stretch for the Mariners, we got to be a little bit worried here, folks, because right up next, they've got the Kansas City Royals.
4 games. 4 games against Kansas City, right? The Kansas City owns one of the worst records in all of baseball, so you got to imagine that's at least 3 W's there for the Mariners. They get 3 games against the Astros. That is going to be a tough series. That is going to be a tough series.
They could win too.
They could win too based on how they're playing. Then listen to this stretch. White Sox, Royals, Athletics, Mets.
And the Reds who have been struggling.
Yeah,
the Reds who
has been struggling, and then the Rays have
they've been struggling, and then the Angels have been struggling.
Yeah,
and then it gets tough.
There is a lot of winnable games for the Seattle Mariners in the next month of baseball, folks, and I would not be shocked in the slightest, guys, to see a stretch there where the Toronto Blue Jays. Maybe we do lose the wild card spot. Like, God forbid. But I know that our easiest stretch is going to be at the beginning of September. Their easiest stretch is right now. There is a possibility where we might actually lose the wild card to these guys for a little bit.
I'm going to say this right now, everybody. We here on the channel, there will be a video that will be instilling a lot of panic. There will be, I guarantee, because I'm gonna
freak out.
I'd almost put money on that the Mariners will take that wild card spot at some point in the next 3 weeks. They will have it, and the Blue Jays won't. And we will be sitting outside looking in just based on predicting the schedule. Do I believe in the boys? Of course, the Blue Jays. I believe in them. But just looking at the schedule, I think they got a better chance than we do. So just warning you, there will be some panic, but I will assure you, and you can quote me on this, we will be back. Yeah. Because our schedule will get better. Theirs will get very hard at the end of September. Ours will get a little bit easier. So we will be back, and we will just get that wild card spot.
I didn't want it to come down to this, man. And listen, Seattle, I got nothing against you guys. I really don't, you know? Like, you put me through heartbreak last year, but I also blame the Toronto Blue Jays more for that loss than I blame you for winning it. But if you go and you take this goddamn wild card spot away from us, with Teoscar Hernandez, with some of our former guys, if you go and you do that, no holds barred, man. Like, I'm sorry, you are not on my hit list, and Seattle Mariners fans, no love anymore. We need this spot, everybody.
Don't take it. Don't take it. Dude, because if they take it, I don't even know what's going to happen right now. Like, I don't want to see the future of this podcast or what's going to happen with this set. What I'm going to do on this set.
No, it's not going to be nice.
What's my intoxication level going to be like when I'm here? I don't know.
It's not right. Tell you. It's not right. It's not natural. It's not where you want to go. It's not. Nobody wants to watch that content anyways.
Just complain.
Literally, you know? Toronto Blue Jays, you got to take care of business. It all starts with the offense right now. So hopefully Biggio continues to be elite. Biggio and Guillermo Martinez, for the love of God, dude, give these guys a direction, please.
All right, why don't we move on and talk about something positive? Let's talk about the boys this past week. I mean, they were negative.
Well,
they'd go below 500.
I think you might have framed that.
I was more referring to like the individual performances. There were some pretty good ones, but we still, it's shocking when you look at the performances, and then we still went 3-4 on the week. That just goes to show tough games in Cleveland. Really tough games. People were disappointed about that Cleveland series. I liked it because it showed that we were grinding and we fought hard baseball. Their pitching staff versus our pitching staff. That's what it was. Forget the offense. Just forget the offense and forget the struggles before that. It was pitching versus pitching. That was the entire matchup. And then you go to the weekend series. Yeah. That one's disheartening. You should win that one with Jose Bautista. His level of excellence day. We're at the Rogers Center. You got to win that. But there were boys that did a great job. I'm actually gonna start with this pitching staff, folks. Gosman, 7 innings, scoreless, ball. Phenomenal. Kikuchi, 7 innings, 1 earned run, ball, 3 hits. Phenomenal. I'm gonna shout out bullpen guy. Swanson's getting back on the map. 4 innings, no earned run, 1 hit. Just phenomenal performances. I'm going to leave one guy out because he's going to be crowned the J of the Week. A little bit spoiler, leaving him out here. And then you look at the offensive side of things. Merrifield. Buddy has a 1.036 OPS in the last week from that leadoff spot. He's phenomenal. I didn't even realize this. He's 6th in slugging. What was it, since July 1st?
Yeah, I mean,
it was ridiculous.
There's been a lot of pop in his game recently. There's been a lot of pop in his game, and that's something that these Toronto Blue Jays have been missing, right? There is not a single Toronto Blue Jay on this team right now. We are midway through August. Not a single guy has 20 home runs. Not a single guy has 20 home runs. So they see Merrifield kind of picking up the slack a little bit from the leadoff position with a little bit more pop. That is so crucial, right? We need to get a little bit of power in this lineup, guys. I'm all for the small ball approach. I'm all for getting on base and moving the guy over and everything like that. But at some point or another, there's going to be a game that goes down where one home run is going to decide it. And we need to be the team that hits that goddamn home run. So thank you, Whit Merrifield, for at least picking up a little bit of that.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Vladdy's been good. He hit over 300 this week. Springer, he also hit over 300 this week. Like, the batting averages are starting to climb up for those big middle of lineup guys. Brandon Belt's always so phenomenal. Biggio's been great. Varsho had a great game. So the offense had flashes of really greatness.
Right.
But we just ended up on the other side of the coin. I'm not too worried. We're still got a playoff spot. That's why I'm not too worried. But I do think that we got to start clicking a little bit sooner.
Once again, runners in scoring position. There were multiple games this week.
Yep.
That was a problem. You get a guy on, he moves over to second. You cannot cash him in, right? That has been a problem. It's going to be a problem, and it will continue to be a problem as time goes on. So that's definitely something that needs to be worked on.
Unless we figure out which pitches we want to hit. I mean,
yeah.
like, come on, guys, let's go.
It's August 14th, so hopefully we have the research to figure that one out now.
Yeah.
However, all of that being said, guys, it is now time to announce the J of the Week.
Yes, the J of the Week. Now, like I said, it's a pitcher. And this guy made his return. He looked phenomenal. He's our king, and he's back, and he's going to carry us to the postseason. It's Hyun-Jin Ryu. Hyun-Jin Ryu. Let's go.
Korean king.
Absolutely.
Bow down, everyone. Yo, listen.
Yes.
Even if he didn't have a great outing on Saturday, there is one play this week that I think deserves the J of the Week, regardless of the statistics. And that is when you take that liner off your knee, and you're in agony and you're in pain, and this dude says, I don't give a shit. Grabs the ball, is stumbling over to first base, almost like a diving throw to get it there, gets the
collapses.
out, and then collapses, right? It's baseball, it's work, then it's me, right?
Yeah.
He puts the team above every other thing, right? That's why this guy grinded so hard to get back on the field. That's why he gives every goddamn thing that he has in his starts. And I'm so happy that the results are coming for him as well, because this is great.
Dude, when you go 9 innings and only give up 2 hits, I mean, he could have had even better than this, like in just terms of the sample size, if he didn't get injured, right? And 0 earned runs. Yeah, he doesn't strike people out, but that was never his game to begin with.
No.
He's a ground ball, low, weak contact kind of pitcher, and Ryu, he absolutely deserves this, and he deserves the 5th spot in the rotation. We saw Alek Manoah leaves us. We kind of barely touched on that a little bit. He's left the team, but Ryu, I trust you, man. You got $20 million this year. You're playing like a guy who gets $20 million.
What did Nick Paleolog say? What did Nick Paleolog say, everybody? Flashback to a few weeks ago. What did Nick Paleolog on Blue Jays Today say? Hyun-Jin Ryu was going to come back a different guy, 30 pounds down, feeling motivated. This dude was going to be electric for the remainder of the season. We are watching it happen right now, everybody. This is the Hyun-Jin Ryu that I knew was going to be back on this team, dude. He's going to play a big role for us, I think, down the stretch.
He's got to, guys, because he's locked in. 5-man rotation again, so I trust him, though. When I look at those Ryu starts, I think we got a shot.
Yeah.
So why don't we take a look at a potential real start this week?
Let's do it, man.
Let's take a look.
Let's do it. Obviously, off day today, everybody. We got 179 people watching right now, folks. If you haven't already done so, please smash that like button, everybody, and subscribe to the channel, guys. We're going to be live tomorrow for the game, guys. First game against the Philadelphia Phillies. They have the exact same record as the Toronto Blue Jays. They are very much a similar team to us, but I will say this. Very recently, pretty damn good at baseball, man. Pretty damn good at baseball.
Yeah. They're very similar to us, like you're saying. 6-4 in their last 10. They were on a hotter run before that. Looking at their overall numbers this year, I did look at the numbers. I've been looking now at runs. They're 12th in runs scored, 14th in runs against, but that number is slowly increasing. It was a lot less. They're getting hot at the right time like they did last year. So they don't want to. They're not going to come in and get walked over. No. Right? They're going to put up a fight. So on Tuesday, tomorrow, we've got Kikuchi. He's going to be going up against Zach Wheeler. They both very competitive. Wheeler's been getting a lot better down the stretch. And then on Wednesday, you got Kevin Gausman versus Aaron Nola. He's been getting a little bit better, 4.49 ERA. So going to be some pretty competitive pitching matchups. We're at home. You got Looney Dog night. You got Vladdy Jr. Blue Jay replica jersey giveaway night. What are your predictions for this little short 2-game series?
It's a tough one, man. It's a tough one. This one does feel pretty locked into me as being like a 1-1 split. It really does. They're very similar squads. Phillies have been hot. We've been hot in our own right.
Trey Turner's been hot.
Trey Turner, dude. Trey Turner. So I don't know if you heard what the Philadelphia Phillies fans did, right?
Yes, they did.
They give him, he's been struggling the whole season. They give this guy a standing ovation, a few different standing ovations. Ever since then, he's been on an absolute tear. He put on billboards in Philadelphia Philadelphia said, thank you, Philly. Like, thank you, Philadelphia, for effectively supporting me, even though I'm having a rough season. So clearly the mentality on that team is where you want to be. You just had a dude throw a no freaking hitter, in his first start at your home, right? So it's like, that is big. So it feels like Philadelphia right now, they are on the upward trajectory. I'm saying we win one. I'm saying we also lose one.
Yeah, again, competitive games. I think we're going to have a big blowout game, right? We're going to blow them out in a very competitive fashion in one of these games, and then it's going to be tight competitive, and then they're going to take one. That's my kind of prediction with us being at home. Then we have another off day Thursday. Wow, where's the baseball this week? We go over to Cincinnati, where maybe we see a Bo Bichette return potentially that weekend. You got Jose Barrios going up against... This was weird. I think the Reds' schedule's all messed up, but it could be like either a Weaver or a Williamson in these next 2 days. They're like spot starters, like they go like 3 innings. It's really weird. Williamson, not so much. He's got a 4.33 ERA. Saturday, you've got Chris Bassett. He'll be going up against one of those guys. And then on Sunday, it's going to be the Korean King, Hunter potentially up against Abbott. Again, these guys might be all mixed around. We don't know. Weird little schedule they got going on right now. Abbott's been very solid. I've had him in fantasy, 2.95 ERA, and so it's gonna be some competitive ball. Reds been kind of falling down a little bit. They got hot in the middle of the season. Not so much anymore. Offense, one of the worst in baseballs, offense, one of the best, but pitching, one of the worst. What are you thinking, bro?
Listen, I think I'm gonna go insane, like crazy mode right now, everybody. I might just lose it here, but I'm thinking that the Cincinnati Reds, they're on the downward trajectory. Yes, they need these W's, but I'm feeling good right now. I'm feeling good. If you get Bo Bichette back in this series, maybe that's gonna be the factor for me, right? You need to have Bo Bichette back, but I think if they get Bo Bichette back, that's gonna be the momentum shifter that this squad requires to go on a beautiful three-game series sweep right there. So I'm saying that we take all 3 in Cincinnati. That would make, from my predictions anyways, the Toronto Blue Jays going 4-1 on the week.
Bro, I was going to make the same prediction. They're going to go for the sweep. We're going to go 4-1 on the week, because not only I think we can, like I really do think that we're set up to do so. And we're also getting Jordan Romano back. We're getting potentially Trevor Richards back, right? I think we're set up for it. But also, we kind of need it, right? When we looked a little bit earlier at the Seattle Mariners schedule, they're going to be getting a lot of games. They're playing all of these days. They're playing 4 games here, everybody.
Yes,
so
they are.
We need those wins to keep up with those Seattle Mariners.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? I mean, like, they could, in their own right, just, without us even playing, could they? How close could they get?
Like, if let's say we lose. We lose both these games right here. If they won all those games, that's 3 games they could gain on us. So they'll take it. They could take it. But if we go 1-1 and let's say they go 3-1, right? Then that would be quick math pods.
Would they be half a game back?
Boom. That would be. I think they'd be half a game back. Half a game back.
Half a game back.
Yeah, that'd be half a game back.
It starts to get confusing, everybody, when they play more and we play less and everything like that. But the moral of the story is 4-1. I'm still feeling good. Less than that, based on Seattle Mariners opponents.
Gonna be tough.
It's gonna be getting pretty damn close, folks.
We gotta win one of those games, everybody. We got 173 of y'all in here. Drop that like for the Blue Jays, man. Hopefully we get some W's this week, and hit that subscribe button. We gotta give a quick little shout out, the sponsor of this next upcoming segment, folks, before we get into it, guys. So guys, everyone give a big shout out to the sponsor of this video.
Whoa! Time for your daily Betway breather. A quick reminder that the best place to bet is on Betway. Must be 19 years of age or older to play. In collaboration with iGaming Ontario, please bet responsibly. Now, back to the content.
Spinning, fortune, baseball, colorful, future determining, stat analyzing, and it's a wheel that we spin every week.
It is, in fact, a wheel that we spin every single week, everybody. Took 2 off of me, eh?
I did take 2 off of you. I had the Jay Killer and Cody Bellinger.
Yeah, that's standard.
Gosman, he got the ERA for sure, but didn't get the strikeouts this week. Bassett actually put up.
Interesting.
He put up.
Interesting. Yeah. Okay, yeah. You usually think that Gosman is a lock for those. I mean, still great start nonetheless. You're down by 10. How many weeks of base? So there's.
I need 3 sweeps and then 1 like 2-in-1 week.
Right.
And there's about. I mean, we can literally take a look.
Yeah.
There's about 1, 2, 3, 4 this week.
Yeah.
5, 6, 7 weeks of baseball left.
So
okay, so
effectively, if I win 3 more weeks, so if I win 3 more weeks, it's impossible for you.
So I say 7, right?
Yeah.
I think if you won 3 more weeks, but it would be impossible.
If I win like 2-1 on 3 more weeks.
Yeah, so I gotta win like most of those coming up, but maybe we'll make it close and interesting down the stretch, everybody.
Let's do it, everybody. This is gonna be your week, folks. Here we go.
Let's get it, guys. And also, remember, put in the chat who you'd pick for this category. Give us your suggestions as well, folks.
Probably going to spin bonus player today.
Oh, it's coming. Oh, no. Okay, ERA starters. You know what? Pretty easy one right here, folks.
I know what you're doing.
Gotta go with the
sense to me.
Gotta go with Kevin. But, I mean, hey, there are some pretty good options on the board.
No, 100%, dude. 100%. There are absolutely some good options at this point, man. I do need to think about who's going against who here.
True, that is true.
Ooh. Interesting. Yeah, you're going Gosman. Fair enough. I'm gonna go insane crazy mode again, folks. I liked what I saw out of Hanjin Ryu, baby.
Do it.
I liked what I saw out of that Korean King.
Do it.
I mean, we would have tied actually, but I still.
Yeah, we would have tied.
It would, he would have had more innings than Gosman.
Absolutely.
So yeah, give me Ryu.
Let's go. Let's go.
And I'm just gonna hope for the best.
Honestly, not a bad option up against the Reds.
That's what I'm saying. I didn't want anyone against the Phillies, so I'll take that.
Who we got now? We got Capron. Okay, well, I'm locking it in. It's gotta be another guy. There's a lot of swing and miss in the Phillies lineup, so I'll take that. Oh, it's right there. Perfect. Capron.
Wow.
That's
why do I always spin I must have like similar spin patterns,
right?
You know?
We keep spinning these too.
Because it feels like whenever I spin ERA, I also spin Caper 9 as well. You almost never get one or the other. Very interesting. Okay, well, I mean, Bassett did literally win you the week.
Yeah.
Last week.
Kikuchi also 6. Oh, he had the same strikeouts per 9 as Gosman. Ryu's not a good option.
Right. Interesting.
Bassett. I mean, Burrios hasn't been the best with strikeouts recently.
Kikuchi's feeling good for me. I am kind of thinking about Yusei here.
You spread it out a little bit.
Thinking a little bit about Yusei. Yeah, screw it. Give me Yusei Kikuchi, man.
Let's go.
He's been phenomenal. He does pump it in the zone. He will get a few Ks for sure. I like it.
I like it. Not bad options. All right, last one will be for sure yours. I mean, doesn't get any easier for me with the pitcher
You have to take it, right? You got to take it, so I understand. Stay away from the bonus player, and I'm doing okay.
Home runs now.
What a shit category.
Yeah, this one's so weak this year.
I hate that one. There's actually no one.
There's literally not a good option.
There's literally no good options for here at all. Springer, you can't trust him anymore.
No. Merrifield's been good, but Vladdy's been the most, but he hasn't hit one in a while. God, Bo, I'm obviously not gonna pick Bo. God, this category sucks.
Yeah,
man.
It does really suck. I mean, it feels like I'm gonna lock in Guerrero.
Yeah, do
it. Because he has the most on the team. But I mean, this could be one of those weeks. I would not be surprised at all if we just end up tying this one.
Oh yeah,
and having it be 0-0.
Bro, you know what? Springer actually has been getting a lot of hits recently. He had a double, a homer, but Merrifield, bro, I'm actually considering going Merrifield. A homer, 2 doubles. He's so hot right now. Just the amount of hits he's getting.
Yeah. I mean, you said it yourself. He's 6th in slugging.
He's 6th in... Yeah. What am I even thinking? 6th in slugging. Let's go with Merrifield.
You're doing the same thing that I did with Ryu, man. Just look at the stats on the page.
He's so good.
On the page. He's looking good right now. You like what you're seeing, and that's what it's gonna be, guys. So never thought in my life that we'd pick Whit Merrifield for home runs. But here we are, folks. It's August 14th. Apparently, the Toronto Blue Jays don't seemingly have an approach, but Whit Merrifield clearly does. Everybody.
Definitely.
There it is, guys. That's the wheel for the week, and that is the Toronto our Blue Jays Today show. In legitimately 50 minutes, everybody. We're gonna be getting on the horn with Addison Barger. We're gonna be recording that podcast. We put a community tab up there. You guys let us know the questions that you want to ask this kid. I think it's gonna be absolutely electric to hear this dude speak. Obviously, legend for the Buffalo Bisons, future legend for the Toronto Blue Jays, man. So it's gonna be great to put a face to a name and hear what he has to say.
Yeah, absolutely, guys. Make sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and as always, guys,
go Jays, go!